hope you're all doing good. Let's just utilize our time in Corona in something productive. We all know how health has become so much of importance in our society, especially these days during the Corona. The Corona warrior will be the one who gets himself saved from all this. So let's just put some focus on health and talk about the biggest health revolution of the country, which is intermittent fasting. How it is done, why it is done, why should one do it, and what are the benefits of it. Also, who can do it and who cannot do it. So let's start. Okay, so first of all, we need to know what is IF. IF is intermittent fasting, which is also known as intermittent calorie restriction, or you can also call it as energy restriction. There are a lot of other names given to it, but we will focus on what is it mainly. So it is actually done in three ways. First is alternative day fasting. Second is periodic fasting. Third is the daytime fasting, or you can also call it the daytime restricted fasting. So in the first one, in the periodic fasting, you can actually fast in different days of the week. For example, if you're fasting for like 1 day in a week, that would be periodic fasting. Second is alternative day fasting, in which you fast for 1 day and you eat for 1 day. You do not eat in that fasting day. Third one is the daytime restricted feeding, which is also very famous in our country and which is also becoming very famous because a lot of celebrities are following it. So we will focus on all of these. So first of all, we need to know that what is IF and where did it come from. So we need to understand that IF is not a fad diet. It has been there in our culture since very long, and it has been performed in a lot of cultures. For example, in Christianity, they make Black Friday, or it's called a Friday fast, in which they do not consume meat. For example, in Islam, they follow Ramzan, which is a fasting month. For example, in Hinduism, we keep Vrat, in which we do not have the meat. What are the benefits of intermittent fasting? To start with, there are many. But let's start with the most important benefit, which is sleep. If you sleep better, you will be as healthy as you can imagine yourself. Always focus on sleeping better, because that is the time when you're actually recovering. That is the time when you're actually healing. Why do we call it the beauty sleep? Because all the healing, all the recovery is done once you're sleeping. If you're not sleeping well, you will be awake. You'll wake up brain toxic, which is not actually acceptable for your body. So intermittent fasting improves your sleep quality. Second, you become more mindful of what you're eating. If a person knows, and he knows that he can control what he's eating and when he's eating, he can control anything and everything. He can handle situations well. Trust me, if you know if you know the act of self-discipline, if you know what self-discipline is, you'll be successful in life. So intermittent fasting lets you do that. It lets you know the art of fasting. It lets you know the art of mindful eating. You know, we do understand that our skin is a reflection of who we are. We as people are actually defined by our personality, in which our skin, our face plays a major role. So for that, people, you may have noticed people take collagen supplements and they pop biotin supplements for skin and hair. I mean, I am no problem in that, but why? Why do you have to pop those supplements? Why do you have to take collagen from outside? Your body makes collagen and your body makes biotin from itself. If you practice IF, your skin will improve because your sleep is improving. So that is why it is called the beauty sleep. Many people around the globe are following IF just in the name of weight loss. As you know that I have already pointed a lot of things, a lot of benefits except weight loss, but weight loss is one of the benefits of IF. So let's talk about it. How IF leads to weight loss. So as you know that any weight loss diet, the main aim, the main motto of any weight loss diet is calorie deficit. So now here in IF, if you're doing a 16-hour fast, for example, we will be in calorie deficit. 16-hour fast means you have to take all your calories in that 8-hour cycle. So you'll obviously be in calorie deficit. People combine it with ketogenic diet, or people combine it with other diets. That does not have a problem. Do it according to your goals. But always remember that IF does lead to weight loss, but you do not have to be very, very conscious of what you're eating and why you're eating it. You have to just be more productive in your day and think of other things other than eating. That will actually lead to your goal. With my personal experience from IF helped me boost my self-esteem. So before this, I was a child with very low self-confidence and very low self-esteem, you can say. I wasn't able to talk to people well. I was not a people's person. But how IF transformed me into a person? Because that made me more self-aware, self-conscious of who I am. As I told you, that what you eat and when you eat, actually, and if you can control it, you can control anything in your world. Because eating is always about, it is not always about just having a thing and consuming it, just putting it in your body. It's about self-control, it's about self-discipline. And if a person knows the art of self-discipline, he or she can conquer the world. And yes, he or she can. So when I started, I was very, very toxic about this thing. I mean, why should I do it? And why should people do it? It's just a fad diet and stuff. But I was like, okay, let's try it. I tried it. One day, I was very hungry. Second day, I was starving. Third day, I was like, I'm not doing it. But I extended the fast. And when I extended the fast, I was able to do it. I was like, oh, I'm fine. And now I guess I've mastered the art of fasting. And I feel good about it now. I mean, thank God I did not quit at that time. And yeah. So now that we have talked about the benefits, we know now that the intermittent fasting is so beneficial for us. Now we will explain how to do it and who can do it. So intermittent fasting, as we discussed, is of 3 types. First one is periodic day fasting. Second one is alternative day fasting. Third one is daily time restricted feeding. So in the first, alternative day fasting, as the name suggests, it says alternative days. So that means you have to fast for alternate days. For example, I fast on Sunday, then I'll fast on Tuesday, and then I'll fast on Thursday. Done. Second is periodic day fasting, in which you get to decide on which day of the week you will fast. Now you can decide what is periodic or what is your periodic cycle of fasting. So if I fast periodically, I will fast on Tuesdays or Thursdays and maybe Saturdays. So that's my choice. I'll do that periodic thing. So the third one is daily time restricted feeding, which is the most common, and we can discuss about it in bit detail. So this is the daily time restricted feeding, gives you the time where you fast and you feast. So it is divided into a fasting window and a feeding window. So people, so now you have to understand that you don't have to be very strict about your calorie time eating or fasting. You can be very flexible on it, okay? So people put them in a box as if like they will fast for 16 hours and eat for 8 hours. I mean, why not 12 or why not 20 or 4? You have to decide on what your body needs. Now, for all the benefits of intermittent fasting, it is said that you can fast for 12 hours and eat for another 12 hours, which you're already doing it. So, for example, you had your dinner at 8 tonight and then you did not eat anything till 8 in the morning. So, you're already doing it. So, if you're not hungry at 8 in the morning, extend it to 9, extend it to 10, extend it to 11, and that makes a 16-hour fast. So it is not like the more time you fast, the more or larger benefits you get. There is nothing like that. You can definitely grab all the benefits from a 12-hour fast, but definitely look into your body, how much food your body needs at a certain time and what's your need. Now, what you can have in your fast and what you cannot. So let's explain this with an example. Let's understand this with an example. So if you're having a 16-hour fast, for example, in those 16 hours, you can just have water. You should not actually be consuming any black coffee or any tea with sugar. But the West has said, there are many researchers which has said that you can consume black coffee. But you have to think on your own self that why should you put black coffee in your system? First of all, in fasting, the body is already cleaning itself. The body is in a detoxification mode. Now, why would you put something very acidic or a stimulant in your body which is cleaning itself? So, the West has said it and the people are doing it and it is working for people. But now we have to decide what is good for us, what will work for us. The world has taught us a lot of new things to us. We have a lot of unlearning to do. We have to understand that what is good for someone else cannot be or may not be good for us. Because obviously those are two different individuals. The same diet which works for someone else may or may not be good for you. So we have to understand from our own minds, we have to understand from our own brain what is good and what is not working for us, okay? Now let's talk about people who should do it and who should not do it. So there are some conditions like eating disorders which include bulimia nervosa or anorexia nervosa. So for example, in anorexia nervosa, a girl or a boy who's suffering deprives herself from food to a certain point of time which is not acceptable for her body, and then they are given therapies of this thing. On the other hand, bulimia nervosa, a girl or boy who's suffering from it will overeat, will overindulge and do things which are not really normal. So these are very broad terms given to these medical conditions. So as this is clear that people who are obsessed with eating have such medical conditions. So we should, these kind of people should avoid IF because you're already suffering from this thing. So once you come out of these, then you can try these. Secondly, lactating mothers should avoid it. Thirdly, a lot of times it is noticed that people who lift, or not just people who lift, but to be precise, bodybuilders who compete for their competitions, it does not work for them because they do need a lot of food inside their body to act. They need a lot of calories. They go on certain certain cycles from bulk to cut. IF may or may not suit them. Now, some things to remember. your body needs time to adapt to new things. As you know that, if someone is fat or someone is obese, he or she has taken time to reach there, to reach that fatness, right? And the similar time she will take to reduce it, right? So if you're gaining fat since you were at the age of 20, say, and you're 24 and you're fat, so it is not just in one day that you gained all that fat. So it is not just in one day that you reduce that fat, right? So our body responds to a lifestyle change. Our body adapts, our body modifies itself to the lifestyle change you're making. It is not an overnight thing. Do not expect IF to do wonders for you in 1 day or 2 days or just 15 days of fasting. It needs time. It depends on individual to individual. You have to be very patient with your body. You have to be very, very accepting towards your body that it is still changing, it is still recovering, and it is still healing. The second thing is, do not mix and match other diets. So, if you elaborate this, the main thing of IF, the more complex you make it, the more harm it gives to your body. So first, be a pro at it. In the starting, just don't feel like having, just don't combine diets like paleo or keto, anything like that. Do not combine it in starting. Firstly, do the very conventional IF, do it very strictly as in following what it is and not following other things together. And after that, once you are pro at it, you can also combine IF. A lot of my clients use keto with IF and that is working for them. So one more thing to remember is every day will be different. The other day I'll be more stressful, so my body will need more calories because I'm thinking so much. And other day maybe I am not that hungry because I'm happy and I'm at a calm stage. So it depends on day to day. The takeaway is listen to your body. Do not avoid or just listen to your body. Just if your body is asking for food, eat. If your body is not asking for food and you're not hungry, don't eat. As simple as that. Just an advice that a lot of people fail when they fast in the daytime. So they will eat from 8 to 2 and then they will fast from 2 to 8. 8 to 2 a.m. and then they will fast from 2 to 8 p.m. So I guess that's a mistake. You can always include your sleeping time into your fasting time. So yeah. The beauty of IF, you can actually make your own version to it. A lot of clients I've seen, once they have mastered eating, once they have mastered fasting, they actually combine a lot of different diets to it, which is working for them. But the only thing you should keep in mind is that your body needs time to adjust to the new routine. It is still changing. So let it adapt fully to that IF mode, and then you can, give your own versions to it. You can go for a 20-hour fast. You can actually combine diets to it and whatever you wish. Thank you for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. We promise you to bring you more content like this and more informative, more pleasing. Also, if you wish to have your own personalized, customized IF diet, we're ready to share it. Just let us know in the comments below and like, share and subscribe. Thank you so much.